Being able to explore new application software independently is an essential skill with today's modern technologies. Since the advent of smartphones, cloud computing, and easy access to functionalities that previously were reserved for professionals, such as video editing systems, for example, we are seeing an explosion in the amount of application software being created to meet our needs or to entertain us. Some of these applications are tools that can help you succeed at school and in your profession, so it's a good idea to learn about them and use them. When you open a new application for the first time, you are in unknown territory. How can you make use of a resource that you don't know anything about? You can do it by completing the following 5 steps: scan, investigate, test, consult, and progress. Not only does this process apply to the principal types of application software, such as operating systems, software programs, and mobile or online apps, it also applies more broadly to any situation where you have to explore a new environment. Imagine that you arrive in a country and plan to travel there. On your arrival at the airport, your first reflex is to take a quick look around you. This is the first step. Scan what you see in front of you. Then, you become aware that the language on the signage might present a problem during your stay. Next, you look for a way to get to the youth hostel. This is step 2. Investigate the environment. Pictograms help you identify where the train platforms, bus stops, and taxi stands are located. You decide to take the bus, then the metro. This is step 3. Test the possibilities offered to you. You make a mistake and get off at the wrong station. So you have to ask for directions from passers-by. This is step 4. Consult help resources. Finally, thanks to the directions you received, you find the youth hostel. Over the next few weeks, you will go through all these steps at each of the destinations of your trip, and each time it becomes easier. This is step 5. Progress in your learning. You'll become skilled at asking questions in the local language. You'll become more and more familiar with how transport fares and functioning work, and so on. Now let's see how this same process applies to the digital environment. When you open a new application, your first reflex should be to take a quick look at the interface. This is step 1. Scan what you see in front of you. Briefly identify the main components of the graphic area. Is there a menu bar? A work area where the user can interact? Are there boxes, arrows, highlighting, or other visual elements to attract your attention or guide your actions? When you have completed this brief scan, you will be able to make connections with comparable interfaces. In other words, you'll be able to connect what you just discovered to experiences you've had with similar applications. You will then have a better idea of what type of application you are dealing with. Next, explore the menus and options offered to you. This is step 2. Investigate the environment. Open the drop-down menus and sub-menus. Consult the tooltips and pop-up windows. Pay attention to the terms used for the functionalities available. While you are exploring, make new mental connections with similar interfaces or options that you have already seen in your previous experiences. But be careful not to go too far in your investigation. For example, a glance at the numerous options in the advanced settings of sophisticated software might overload your brain instead of stimulating it. The time has come to experiment with the functionalities of the interface. This is step 3. Test the possibilities offered to you. Go back over the functionalities that you looked at briefly in the previous step and try to put them into practice to study their potential and their limitations. Give yourself a number of small challenges and try to solve them. Change some elements. Add some new ones. Delete others. In short, play with your new tool. This is the most important step. People say the best way to learn a language is complete immersion. Similarly, the best way to learn how a new interface works is to immerse yourself completely in this experimentation step. When one of the challenges you've set yourself gives you a problem, go to step 4 and consult help resources. The application you are exploring may offer a help button, preset templates, or a virtual assistant. But these are not your only allies. You will undoubtedly find answers to your questions on the supplier's website, where you may find frequently asked questions, explanatory videos, or tutorials designed to facilitate your learning. You can also find advice from specialized forums, where other users have probably asked the same questions as you and have received answers that might help you. Let's summarize step 4. If you hit an obstacle, don't avoid it. Find a way to overcome it. Finally, use your new tool with growing efficiency. This is step 5. Progress in your learning. Set yourself challenges that are more and more difficult. To do this, there's nothing better than using the application in a concrete situation, such as doing a project, for example. When you have specific objectives to achieve, you should experiment with the application's possibilities beforehand and make use of new help resources. That way you will increase your proficiency with the tool. When you explore new application software, remember that it could become a new string to your bow. For it to suit you, first scan what you see in front of you, then investigate the environment, test the possibilities offered to you, consult help resources, and progress in your learning of this new tool. The more independent you are in exploring new interfaces, the better equipped you will be to succeed in your studies and the greater value you will have on the job market.